Robert Morgan, April 30th, 2017. Imagine a family member of yours was in a bad car accident and transported to the nearest hospital by ambulance. They get them on the operating table, and medical professionals assemble to save their lives. Before they can begin to operate, a blood transfusion is needed due to multiple lacerations sustained in the accident, causing significant blood loss. The doctor orders a nurse to retrieve 3 units of blood and begin transfusion, but there are no units available at this hospital of that blood type. The doctor believes their life could have otherwise been saved. This scenario can be a devastating reality to some. Blood banks are seemingly low on one blood type or another almost constantly. They advertise on the radio, TV, and in the newspaper, practically begging for donations that can save lives. But we can't be bothered to take the time or endure a few moments of discomfort. But what if it was your loved one whose life needed saving? Let's take a look at the problem at hand. Blood banks are periodically running out of blood. ABC News reported back in September 2016 that a critical shortage of blood had caused the American Red Cross to cancel elective surgeries in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Atlanta. The Red Cross called it one of the worst shortages they had ever seen. So they were so low on blood supply, they had to cancel any elective surgery in 3 major metropolises across the United States. They had to wait and reschedule those for a time when the donations came in and they had built that supply back up. They could only afford to use the blood for emergency situations during that period. On their website, redcross.org, the Red Cross announced a critical shortage on July 5, 2016, stating, "Right now, Red Cross blood products are being distributed to hospitals faster than donations are coming in." This caused them to make a huge, significant drawdown on their overall blood bank supply. So the Red Cross has a bank of blood that they keep and are distributing to hospitals. And when a shortage like this happens and donations aren't coming in near the speed as the need is to go out, that they have to draw on their bank and their savings account of blood. And when it gets low like that, they're in dire need because you're this close to an emergency where people are going to lose lives. Now that we understand the problem, let's have a look at what causes these shortages. First is donations are not increasing at the same rate as demand. According to a report from ABC News, demand has increased twice as much as the donations. Donation increases 3% annually, while demand has increased 6% annually. Another factor is holiday season shortages. In an article on January 6, 2017 on UPI.com, they state that the Red Cross received 37,000 fewer donations during November and December. Severe weather had caused several blood drives to be canceled. So in the wintertime, you have the worst weather of the year, and so these weather systems come in and they make it too bad. They have to cancel these blood drives. On top of that, the wintertime is right in the heart of cold and flu season. So you have donors who are willing to donate, but they're unable to because they either have currently or have had previously, recently had a cold or flu virus, so they can't donate because they don't want to pass that on to the recipient. Another factor is blood donations cannot be stored indefinitely. Blood components have a limited shelf life. According to the website donorsaying.com, red blood cells can be kept for 42 days, plasma can be stored for a year, and platelets can be kept for just 5 days. Whole blood can be kept for 21 to 35 days, according to another website, redcrossblood.org. So in this factor, you have to imagine that you have a nice supply of blood, people have been donating on a good basis, but then maybe there's not a need. Well, that blood doesn't last indefinitely, and once you've reached those shelf lives, they have to discard that product. So you can't just have a massive blood drive, get a ton of donors to come in, and build up your savings account of blood and blood products, and say, hey, we're good for 6 months to a year. You have to have consistent and regular donors coming and providing a steady stream of that supply. So what can be done about this? In simple terms, we need more blood and we need more blood donors. Although this year, the UK will begin trials on synthetic blood derived from the real red blood cells generated in a lab from stem cells, according to the website newscientist.com. This is fantastic news. Medical technology advancements are creating alternatives. So when you run into an emergency situation and you absolutely have no real human donated blood, there will be an alternative so that life can be saved. However, This is years away from being a reality, and even when it becomes a reality and we can use that synthetic blood, it's never going to be economically viable, as this is a very expensive process. The World Health Organization states on their website, regular voluntary unpaid blood donors are the foundation of a safe blood supply because they are associated with low levels of infection that can be transmitted during transfusion, including HIV and hepatitis viruses. Blood donors must be checked out physically before they are able to donate. They get a mini physical, blood pressure, temperature, things like that. And then once their blood is taken, the blood is then tested to make sure that they're not passing any viruses or any kind of bad things on to the recipient. Putting a higher emphasis on increasing donors is the minimum wait times between donations. The website for the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center states that you must wait 56 days, that's 8 weeks between blood donations, and 7 days or 1 week between platelet donations. So even when you have donors who are willing to donate more frequently, they simply can't. There's a minimum amount of time you must wait so your body can regenerate those blood products within itself. What we need is more people donating on a regular basis. We need more donors. Now that you know the problem and the solution to it, I encourage you all to donate blood. Call your HR department at your work and see if they will set up a blood drive at your employer. Talk to your pastor and see if your church is willing to set up a blood drive. And most importantly, talk to your friends and family and let them know the importance of donating blood. You never know, it just might be their life you're saving.